Have a good night. Yep.
You too.
Yep.
It's my boy Elvin. Right now we're gonna bring Harlem Globetrotter Kenny Rodriguez. Hope everyone is having a blessed night. Gene, what's up, bro? Kenny the Blender, Kenny Rodriguez. Elvin, thank you, bro. Roman, thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys. This is our last guest for tonight. What's up, bro?
Yeah, you got the Dominican lineup, so I gotta make that noise. Hold up. Yeah, let's get it popping.
What's good, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm just happy to be alive during these hard times. Shout out to all the workers out there in the front line doing what they have to do to keep the world spinning in a positive way. So yeah, much respect to everybody out there.
Kenny, arregla la cámara.
Okay.
Put it a little bit down.
Put a little bit down. Hold on a second. This is actually my first live. So, yo, you invited me. I said, yo, I got to do it for Roman and stuff, Hold on a second. Let me get adjusted. Hold on. This is new to me.
While you're doing that, a quick shout out.
Is
Elvin,
this...
thank you. Yeudis, bendiciones. Yo, Rome, La Fiesta, thanks. Gifted Ted, thanks for tuning in. The Phoenix 80, Nell, Samir, Coach Jose Camacho, Isabel Nieves, and Don 30. Peace and blessings to you guys. So, bro, how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good. I'm alive. I'm staying positive, and that's all we can do during these tough times.
No, I hear you, bro. The Blenda, yes. So, bro, tell us your beginnings when you started playing basketball.
My beginnings started off in 169th Street, Washington Heights. Shout out to Washington Heights. First of all, you got the Dominican lineup, so hold on a second. Let's be clear. Hold on a second. Shout out to DP, the mayor, who also played with me.
Hold up, bro. Wait. Time out. Ready? Dun, dun, dun.
There you go.
So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so it started off playing in the Paligo sports tournaments. We had a lot of good talent. I would like to give a big shout out to my mentor, my coach, Fabio Sanchez, who took me under his wing. So during the Paligo tournament days, my nickname was El Rifle. A lot of people look at me as a trickster, but they didn't see what I did beforehand, which I became a basketball player. Then from the basketball player, I transitioned to tricks. So, I had a lot of good games. And the guy that announced that game and gave me that nickname is El Chino from Grupo Aguacate. He grew up in my neighborhood. It was like the Spanish Rucker Park. Like you had guys from Curry Goat who played at Florida State, the controller. You had the Greer brothers who played there. You had Felipe Lopez, who just, I believe, after college, came down and started playing, because his brother lived a few blocks away. Like it just took me one block to just, go to the basketball court. I would be in the basketball court from 6 a.m. working out because I knew the competition would start coming in the weekends, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, so I wanted to make sure I was warmed up. So I had a great time in the Paligo tournaments. The mayor, DP, he played with me. He was looking for a spot because back then it wasn't no Dykeman. Not to say anything bad about Dykeman, but back then it was the Paligo sports tournament. You had Jay-Z who will come up there and play. You had Speedy, you had Predator, you had Master Rob, you had Headache. And not trying to tweak my own horn, I went up to Paligo and I said, Paligo, if you want to turn this tournament and make it bigger than what it really is, you got to get those guys from Rucker Park. You got to bring some of those guys up here. We have a phenomenal, Bakacha too. Shout out to Bakacha, who was definitely a big inspiration because these are the guys that I grew up watching. And let's not forget Emil Cesar Sanchez, who played at George Washington High School. Jan Camillo too. He was my teammate, but then I got cut my senior year. Yeah, Flash. So big shout out to Jan Camillo. I went through a lot of roller coasters in my life. So what I did was my parents ended up moving to Jersey, and I had just got cut off the senior basketball team in George Washington due to my grades, because you had to pass 4 majors and a gym. I would just pass 3 majors and a gym. So once he cut me off the team, I just pretty much gave up basketball for like a couple years, and then I reinvented myself. But I used that to fuel myself, to give me that strength to move forward. At first, basketball, I put it to the side. Then I started joining these tournaments out in Jersey. Shout out to Ken Kaluko. I played in his camp basketball tournament, and I did my thing. And I was also playing in city sports. It was called Hoop Zone back then in Jersey, right off of Route 4. Donald Henney. I don't know if you know Donald Henney.
Of course,
Good,
of course.
good point guard. He was keeping score. So he goes, yo, Kenny, you're not going to beat my score. I had 37 today. This is before the game. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to try my best. Next thing you know, I was hitting like 8 threes. And next thing you know, at the end of the game, I had 43. So
Man,
then that's when I started getting back into basketball. Because remind you, I stopped playing for 4 years, so it was just a hard transition. But then the Nike commercial came out, and one got very popular. So I started watching these guys on TV, and I'm like, hold up, they're getting paid to entertain? I think I could do that. So I started just working on my tricks, watching footages of the old Harlem Globetrotters. So I started watching these footages and started, kind of like how the great NBA players do, or all the greats, they study their opponent. So I
of
started
course.
studying, the competition, studying, the craft of what the Globetrotters are about. It's not just about playing basketball, but it's also about giving back to the community and trying to make people happy all over the world just through basketball. And that was my biggest thing, when I transitioned, moving forward now to the Globetrotters. But it took me a hard time to accomplish those goals. What I did was I surrounded myself around the right people. I secluded myself, from all the negative. And I just, started getting in this like zone where I just wanted to be alone, and just like work on my craft. Anywhere I went, I had a basketball with me. Basketball was with me 24 hours, 24/7, like it was like my girlfriend, how we basketball fiends, and you're a great example of a diehard basketball junkie, a guy that gives his all to the game of basketball. You're a great definition of that because I seen you put in so much work and I seen you develop as a kid, because we grew up in a different era.
Different
We
era.
grew
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
yeah, we grew up in a different era. But I'm sure you heard some guys like Headache who came from and one. I
Of
started
course.
watching those guys, and I'm like, wow, I gotta try to study their moves. I used to study Skip to my Lou, Ray for Austin, Allen Images here and there.